goed. Ja, dat is fijn. Goedemiddag. Ja, dat zal wel, ja. We zitten hier omdat er morgen een voetbalwedstrijd is tegen Fortuna Sittard. En daarom is Francesco aangeschoven om jullie vragen te beantwoorden. Christian, wil jij beginnen?
Good afternoon. Good to see you again. Davy Klaassen, will he be part of the squad tomorrow?
Yes, as you know, still there are some details that needs to be fixed, but it's just a matter of some hours. So today we'll be with the squad in the training, and of course tomorrow part of the team.
I think internally there's been some discussions. Should we get Klaas on board, yes or no? Of course, he's a player that is free of contract, a free agent. What are the pros and cons? What was the discussion to do it, yes or no?
It was a nice, let me say, a nice coincidence. So some weeks ago, he asked about the opportunity to come to train with us. Of course, I'm not here to discuss the player and the level and how important he is for Ajax and what he represents for Ajax. He played many games with the armband. So there are many good things and of course many interesting aspects about this one. And now in the last period we had some problem in the midfield. We have Berghuis that is going to be out for 4 weeks more minimum. Mansberg that came back from the national team with a quite serious ankle problem. Linson that is struggling a bit to find the continuity, even if in the last days he's with us. So all these type of things lead us to look for possibilities, solution. And I spoke with him briefly to say, okay, which is your opinion? Do you think Ajax could be something interesting for you? And of course for him, it was like the feeling to be back home. He has an interesting synergy already with some of the players that were here. He's a leader, so many good things. And of course, he's an important player, and I believe that he is going to help us a lot.
He's not a left winger, of course, because of what happened the last day of the transfer window. You only have one left winger left, who's Mika Gots.
Yeah.
The Belgian Association said early September he wouldn't be able to play for the Belgian under-21 because he was injured. How is he now?
No, Mika is okay. He did, of course, he had some struggle. So we had a conversation with Belgium FA to manage the player. He did like the first 2-3 days a bit under control when he came back from the small break, and in this period he did quite okay. So tomorrow he's going to be, of course, in the squad, and let's see if in the starting lineup.
Yeah. Unless you want to change this system, it's a bit of a problem that there's only one real left winger in the first team squad. Of course, you've thought about alternatives. Can you share a little bit with us what alternatives you have in mind?
As you can imagine, since the day that the market was over, many things start to pop up in my mind.
No headache.
No. Some of these one, but again, we are not because we are here, to be the victim, but just because we want to find solution. And of course, we are in a moment where we need to be a bit creative. And to look for something that will give balance again to the team and to the squad, especially to maximize the quality of the players, because I think this one is the priority, and especially to try to use the manpower that we have and the capacity and all the also the values of the player on the pitch, but as well also in terms of energies and the contribution and the commitment that the squad has with this project.
Yeah. You've changed people in different positions, like Hato doing really well as a left back, Baas doing really well as a centre back. Do you have something in mind with certain players for the left wing positions? Can you tell us a little bit more?
As I told you, there are possibilities. One possibility, of course, is to adjust some players to play a bit out of their natural position. A different solution can be to adjust something in the structure. So there are different scenarios, different possibility. As I told you, my last 15 days, I was quite busy with my thoughts and my reflection on this one. But as I said, for me, the priority is to put, is really to use the players that we have and the qualities that we have in the best scenario possible.
So change of structure, that could be 4-4-2.
Could be.
Thank you.
Iemand anders aan die kant. Johan.
Hi, Francesco. Is it also a possibility to tackle two problems in one, bringing one striker to the left wing now and then?
Also, this one is a possibility. I will not, how to say, get you annoyed with like all the reflection and all the possibilities and the scenario that I start to evaluate after the midnight of 2 September. But of course, since then, my mind was, okay, these are the players that are going to be part of the squad. How can we, get the best out of everybody? So of course the possibility, as you say, to move some players in that position is a scenario, and again, we need to be open for everything. So now we are not yet in the moment of final answer. Still we are looking for the proper solution and the proper balance out of the circumstances, and we are looking hardly, us as a technical staff and the players as well, to be open to find the best solution for the squad.
How do you manage having three strikers who probably think they will be the first one?
So this is a part of the discussion. So when you have, let's say, a lack of numbers in one side, but you have so many good strikers, good players in the same position, at the end, it's normal that you are going to have some question marks in the head. And as I said, we are not here to cry or to play the role of the victim because things didn't happen. But now it's up to us to be a bit creative and to not to waste what we have done so far, because of course it's a long process. But in the other way, now we are living a new reality, a new scenario. So we need to adapt and to go through.
Can you get us a little view how does that work on a training when you play 11 against 11? I guess you have one striker on one side and one on the other side.
Yes.
There's one left.
Yeah, I give you the answer that maybe it's not exactly what you want, but is how it is that all of them, they are training full with the team.
Okay. You said, did I hear it right when you said Berghuis needs 4 weeks more?
Yeah.
Did he have a setback?
So I told you when it happened, the injury, that is a situation and is a need that requires a bit of time. At that moment, it was happened just the day before, so it was a bit complicated to give the final answer and the final report. The reality that Steven did very good in this period, tried to do the best that he could, but of course, unfortunately not as fast as all of us we wanted, because the injury was, let's say, quite serious. So what we are trying to do is to speed up the process, but without, how to say, jumping some steps, because at the end, as I always say, it is important to have Steven back as soon as possible, but in the same way without taking any risk for the games and the challenges that we are going to have had.
Must be a big blow for you since he brought you a lot of creativity.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, andere vraagstellers. Hier voor Aline. Ja, kan ook.
Francesco, good afternoon. How was your time in Italy?
Yeah, it was quite good. Well, a bit of time with my family, so good.
Did you get some time to relax, or did you feel like you wanted to go back to work again?
Not at all. As I told you, I was at home, I think, from Sunday. Monday was the last day of the market, and after, I make you imagine how was my Monday and the days after. So, as I told you, I would like to to switch off the phone. I couldn't do it, and especially I wanted to switch off the mind, but it was impossible.
Yeah, and so when you got back to Amsterdam, how was the atmosphere the last couple of days? So there's finally a match again
Yeah.
tomorrow. So how's the atmosphere around?
No, it's a really strange scenario because now it's almost 1 month that we are not playing. So really, it's really strange what happened. But again, there are things that are not completely in our control. So unfortunately, we are in a situation where we need to adjust and to react to what is happening. We had a lot of changes in our schedule. So let's say the adaptation has been maybe one of the main words in our vocabulary in the last 3 months. So we try to get the best scenarios possible to keep our players fit. So we try to organize friendly matches. As you can imagine, is not easy during the normal period of competition, so we couldn't manage to find a proper game, and we decided to play in between us. So everybody did great, and in these days the players did really good. Yesterday was a fantastic session, so we are in the right track, of course, now with a bit of curiosity to be back again in front of our supporters and in our stadium.
And also the dynamics of the players. How is that establishing? Because you went from a pretty young group at the beginning of the season, and there are some old players joined them now. Do you still feel they have? What is their contribution to that dynamic?
Yeah, I think it was important to add a bit of experience in the squad, because the reality that we were and we are still a very young team. Of course, the last players that came in gave to us a bit of experience, of course. And I think this one in the general evaluation, I think is something really positive, especially for the amount of games that we are going to play and the opportunity and the possibility to have all of them connected and ready to help the young players to grow up in this period. Thank you.
Hi, Francesco. Wijndal is training with the first squad again. What is his perspective?
Yes, so now since the market closed, as both Owen and Benjamin are going to be back with the first team. As I told you, it was in the plan that if some of these players were not going to find a proper solution at the end, my desire it was to have them back. So for both players now is a new chapter. I'm more than happy to have them back because I think they are players that can give us good things. Owen, you know the characteristics that he has. He's a very good fullback. He's a player that can bring us also some offensive qualities. So it's good to have this type of characteristics back in the team.
You saw Weghorst a couple times in the training. What kind of impression does he make on you?
Yeah, Wout is a player that came here with an incredible mentality, with a fully commitment to make great things over the place. So I'm really excited to work with him. We spoke quite a lot during the summer before him to be part of the squad. So I think he came with a proper mindset, and I think this is not even a question mark. He's a well-known player for his mindset, and as well also because he's going to bring to the team different characteristics, different qualities. So really happy to have him in the squad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ja, nog graag. Ja, dan gaan we daarna naar de andere kant.
Hello, Valentine Driesen, Telegraph. Have you talked with both players together, with Robbie and Weghorst, about their role?
Yeah, and Akpom as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and what was the conclusion of the talks?
No, for me it was something that was absolutely needed to set a bit to face the reality, to face the situation where we are. So of course I will not go in details about the conversation, but I think it was a really positive discussion, because at the end now everything that we are going to do is to try to, as I said before, to maximize the potential that we have in front. So they need to feel the responsibility, and they need to be, for us, one of the main tool or the main tool of the team to be successful in the season.
Yeah, and what is a reality between the both?
Between the three.
Yeah, between Robbie and Weghorst.
And Akpom. We have 3 strikers, so
Yeah,
the
but
reality.
I think Ekpom is number 3rd.
This is what you think. For me, there are 3 strikers, and we have many matches, and we have to play, to share minutes, to share energies, and all the things.
Yeah, but even in a Dutch national team, Wout has problems to be on the bench. How can you cope with that?
No, I honestly, I don't see. I think Wout is a player that wants to play every single minute that is possible, and this is, I think, is positive because if you are a football player, you want to be on the pitch as much as you can. After, as I say, the reality check is quite easy to do it. We have 22 matches before the Christmas break. It means that if you remove the FIFA break, we are going to play every 3.8 days. So I think that there is minutes enough and opportunities enough for all the 3 strikers.
Yeah. How satisfied were you with the performance of Robbie last week in the Dutch national team?
Yeah, I was in the stadium. It was, I think, an impressive performance. And I was really happy to see him to compete in this level and with the quality that he brought to the pitch. So it was a really good match.
Also, the length of his performance, that he could play like this for so long in a match.
Yeah, it was positive for the length, but for me, especially for what he put during the match. So for the quality more than for the quantity.
Last question about David Klaassen. You said it's a long process. You were already busy for a few months. Is it possible for a player to adjust that process just as quickly in a few days then?
I think for Davies, first of all, he was, from the physical point of view, he was already quite okay in the last period since he started to work with young Ajax, and in the last 6-7 days with us, I think he showed up with a very good fitness. So from this point of view, there are no problems at all. Of course, it will need a bit of time and game time to get in his best condition possible, but let's say he's more than decent where he is. And from the tactical point of view, the understanding, I think, is, at least for the few conversations that I already had with him, I think he, first of all, is a player that is absolutely passionate about football. He loves the game. He loves to understand, what is going on the pitch. So I think the adaptation will be quite fast. Thank you so much.
Denton.
Hi, Francesco. Can you share a little bit about the fitness of Wout Weghorst? Is he able to play, to start the match tomorrow, for example?
He's able to start. Of course, also for him, I will say the same things that I said about Davi. Is clearly it's a process of building like a better and better condition, but he came here with a very good level of fitness. He worked really hard when in his days off. He was always in contact with our fitness coaches, so he did everything to be ready. Also, he had like a couple of moments and opportunities to play with the national team, but as well in his previous club. So I think things are quite okay with him.
And can you tell a little bit about the past month? How did you use that time, like a second pre-season, or how did you specifically use it?
Not really, because as you know, in the moment that we start, after the game against Jagiellonia, we had just 1 day in. After we gave like a small break because it was important to give some rest to the players that they pushed so much for already 12 weeks. So we used this time to rest and to recover. And after, the problem that with so many players in the national team, it was difficult to have like, you know, a full squad and to really plan how to say the period exactly in the way that we want. Also because we had a target that was the game against Utrecht that during the process changed again. So this lead us to change one more time our routine or the schedule that we have in mind. So we try to spend this time, of course, to get the players that were here as fit as possible, to try to work in some tactical details that we felt it was important to spend time on, and of course also with some adaptation according to the new situation of the squad, and to prepare also for some different scenarios.
How big is the physical impact on the players not playing for so long?
You mean for Wout or
No, for all the players,
sorry,
yeah.
pardon. Yeah, in this case, it's not ideal. As I told you, we played 2 matches, both of these one in between us, and the intensity was quite good. But of course, it's never the same than to play, you know, like one official match, the environment and all this type of things. So we try to recreate something to keep things normal or to follow like a reasonable schedule. But of course, it's a bit far away from the real scenario.
You had a month to look into Fortuna Sittard. What will be the key in the match tomorrow?
Yeah, for the match of tomorrow, of course, I mean, we didn't have like one full month because, of course, before the plan was Utrecht, and since then, of course, we move our attention on Fortuna. So first of all, like if we speak about fact, is one team that is really dangerous, especially when they are attacking from the flank. They have many different scenarios and possibilities also from the set pieces. So one more time, it will be key to limitate these moments of duels into our box. And in the other side is one team that is quite flexible in the way that they play. They press with 3-4 different structure and scenarios, also in the way that they build up. Usually they build up with so from the back 4 they became 3, shifting with the left fullback. In the last game they did the same, but from the opposite side. So it's a team that is bringing a lot of variation. They had a quite good start of the league. So I believe that tomorrow, of course, for us it will be also a challenge to reset and to somehow to make like the first step again in the Eredivisie, because for us, the feeling somehow that we didn't even start the competition yet. So tomorrow needs to be like a big challenge also from the mental point of view from all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joop, jij nog? Ja.
Francesco, a fast player on the wing was a key in your tactics in the beginning. You don't have him now, maybe except for Gods, but did you see someone maybe from young Ajax in that role?
Yeah, in young Ajax we have at least a couple of players that are really interesting, and of course in all the possible scenarios that I was mentioning, this is one of the consideration that I had. I think both Jadon and Jan are 2 players that at some point they will be part of the squad and they will help us with the first team. So tonight I will be there to watch them, to follow the game. So yeah, this of course is a possibility, and this is one scenario that we are evaluating.
And then you said at some point they might be part of the team, which means that they're not part of the team tomorrow.
No, they are not going to be part of the team tomorrow, but for example, Jadon Banel already worked with us, as you know, during the pre-season. He was with us during these days of international break, so he's a player that we have a close eyes on. He's not the only one from young Ajax, of course, so we are following at least like very closely like 7-8 players from young that are players that we believe and we feel that at some point they will be able to step up. But of course, in this moment, with the needs that we have in front, especially for these 2 players, the attention is a bit higher than usual.
Okay. Is Van Axel Dongen also one of them?
Yeah.
Okay. Kaplan, how is he doing? Is he able to play?
Tonight he will play with Young, so it was one of the players that, as you know, we we had to manage in a different way. He had a small muscular problem, so he came back. He stayed with us during the international break. He played the last friendly matches. He played 60 minutes. So tonight we are going to give him an exposure of 90 minutes, and if everything will be okay, from the next weekend he's going to be again full with the team.
Okay. Our last question. With Anton Guy and Owen Wijndal, you have two fullbacks that could be playing in a system with like wing backs. Is that, considering the preparation you had, is that too far-fetched, or do you still consider that a reality?
As always, I'm really surprised because it looks like I'm not the only one in this room that had many thoughts about the possibilities. Basically, you touch, all of you touch already like all the possible scenarios. Yeah, as you said, Anton and Owen, both of them are, especially Anton, is a player that could manage also this scenario. Last season he did a couple of times, so yeah, it could be also this one an extra possibilities on the table.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Allemaal de kans gehad, dat gaan we niet het hele jaar volhouden met persconferenties. Bedankt voor jullie komst. Heb je een nabrandertje? Wie staat er in de spits? Who's the striker? Vraag jij maar mij. Who's the striker tomorrow?
Brobby. At least Brobby for sure. Yes.
Nou, een cadeautje aan het eind. De training is om 4 uur, eerste kwartier open. Mochten jullie nog actueel beeld nodig hebben of gewoon willen kijken, van harte welkom vanaf 3:30, 4:00. Bedankt, thank you.